Hey mamas! Cheers to another year.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm Jess.
Yes, I'm Erica.
We're drinking wine. This is why it's taken her. How are you?
I'm not really not used to this anymore. Just don't ask me how I am.
We made it to 1 year, please.
I know, as if. But we've never reached that point where we're like, yeah, no, let's not continue.
I think, if anything, our excitement is more than at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just because we're so into it and we know what we're looking for. And I think because we've got the hang of it, we're more like, oh my God, this and that. I think I still annoy you with a lot of messages, though.
No, I don't think you annoy me. I sometimes feel like you're annoyed because I ignore your messages, or like I'm just, my dementia plays up and I just don't know what you're talking about most of the time.
And my dyslexia. Do you know what? Let's set the record straight. Whenever there's a post and there's a spelling mistake on it,
that's Jess.
That's me. We've had we've had people tell us, by the way, guys, there's a spelling mistake.
It's quite with now everyone knowing about our launch and the cups and stuff. We were so excited for the giveaway that we did, and we thought, what best to add one of our special mugs. And of course, Jess being Jess, she adds the one with the spelling mistake.
No, I'm sorry, but I sent, before we got these printed out, the final design, I sent it to like 10 people that usually call me up on my spelling mistakes. No one said a word, not even flinched at it. Everyone was like, oh yes, no, that's perfect. When I got them printed, oh my God, they look amazing, let's take pictures. Everything was ready to go with this mug. And then
that one person, shout out to Jennifer.
Honestly, she was like, I don't want to be like a annoying cow, but there's a spelling mistake on your mug. And we were like, oh my God. If you're watching our YouTube,
Mama, a tittle just above Queen. Tittle. And we bought them out because we thought, we can't cry about it anymore. And then we opened it and we showed our friend and we were like, look at them, and she was like, oh, they're so beautiful. And then she said the little just above, and I was like, little, and she was like, oh no, title. And I'm like, really? That says title? And she was like, she took like at least 5 minutes, and she was like, oh, there's a spelling mistake, isn't it? It's 2 T's.
It's tittle. I think, do you want to tell them how we started with the project?
I would if I remember.
For fuck's sake.
I can't remember.
So once a few months ago, me and Erica found ourselves a little bit distant.
Oh yes.
Because we just went really quiet during the week. I was going through a pretty shit moment, and I was just focused on myself. And I thought, if I'm having a bad time, I just didn't want to feel like a burden. And I thought, she knew I was being short and I knew she was being short, so we thought, like, let's keep out of each other's way, because we know that that's how we are when it comes to us feeling like, we know that we close down a lot. One day I wake up and Erica's like, hi Jess, and I'm like, first of all, I'm not Jess to you, I'm Moo. So when you call me Jess, I'm like, it literally just breaks you when you see your name. And I'm like, and already in my head I'm thinking like, oh, she's probably going to say like, why are you so quiet, or like, what the hell is going on? So we had a conversation about it. During that week, I just found myself thinking about how shit mornings are when you're just feeling really low. And especially, I mean, this was something we had spoken about before, about bringing out merch and stuff, and everyone loved the mugs that we have, and we thought, oh, that would be a good idea. And we were throwing the idea back and forth, but we weren't really yeah, let's do it, because we just thought maybe we're not there yet, or maybe let's just wait a bit longer. So anyways, during that week that I was really quiet and off, I was literally going to sleep at like 4 a.m, working on these designs and working on thinking, how shall we do this, that. When she messaged me, obviously we spoke out what was going on, and then I was like, I need to show you something, and then showed her one of the, I think it was like 2 designs at that point, and she was like, oh my God, this is great, like this and that, let's maybe change this here, or maybe the colour, I think one of the colours was a bit too, it wasn't like bold enough or something. And then I was like, yeah, cool. The next day, I literally ordered them. We've got them, and we love them from as soon as we opened them. We're like, oh my god, they're amazing. What are we gonna do? And it's my impulsiveness that always gets on in these situations.
Yeah.
And
I think I think one idea brings another. So seeing her excitement into it got me excited, and then we started thinking about the packaging and the experience, and you know, we thought other little bits we can add to it, and we just thought, oh my god, yes, this is amazing. But then there was still something kind of holding us back, like, are we there yet to, you know,
like, will people
we
purchase?
yeah, we don't really think we have like a fan club, you know, but I think we just need to be very sure
Does
of
an
ourselves.
OnlyFans count?
I mean, we do have one of those. But yeah, we just need to be very sure of ourselves, and I mean, what's the least?
I think it's because we're not boasty, so this is that out of our comfort zone. It's like we've got a good idea, and I think we doubt ourselves because we overthink.
Everything.
Oh, is this right? Is this good? And because we've seen, like, you know, just examples that we kind of think, oh my god, like, wow, like, you really went for it. But then I don't know, there was just something holding us back, and I think that week kind of pushed this all to come to light. And like I said, it was something that was already on our thoughts of, you know, bringing out merch. We even like have other ideas, but it all just came into place within a week.
Yeah.
And like Erica said, she really wanted the packaging to be an experience, so when you receive it, it's not just like a mug in a box. So we've added other little things to it, so when you purchase, you will see the whole, you will experience
the
it.
wow factor.
Yeah. And then I think from then on we decided that with so much going on around, I think it was mostly the Ashley guy.
Yeah, I think it was just a story where, you know, they found the bone marrow donor, the baby got it, you know, we were all kind of like waiting for that positive result, and they got told she was clear, and then she was about to ring her bell, you know, and then they got the heartbreaking news that the cancer was back. So you automatically put yourself in these parents' shoes, like we are, and I think it's the small things we take for granted, you know.
Yeah,
some of us, you know, have children that, you know, get the odd cold here and there, their fevers, and we're always worried, like we're like sleeping, we're like zombies without sleeping because of these minor situations, whereas there's so many parents out there, like Jess mentioned in the live, that all they've known since they've had their baby is life in hospital. Their kids don't get to come out, you know. You see it in like Ashley's snap in his post and stuff. They constantly have to be cleaning everything, and you know, La Nina can't like get a little bit of dirt here, or they have to be on top of everything, because any little infection, it can go from 0 to 100.
It can be life threatening. Yeah,
so it's like, we, you know, our kids can go out and play in the sand, in the dirt, and sometimes we're just like, you know what, let them be. Some parents don't get that. Some parents need to be very cautious. And like when we obviously contacted the foundation and just had a meeting with them, and just hearing how many kids actually, you know, have died and haven't reached that goal to get their wish, it's heartbreaking, because I, for one, I try to give my kids everything, just as well, and I'm sure you all do, but it
especially with COVID, it stopped everything.
Exactly.
All the hope just went down the drain again.
And if it was difficult for us, imagine how difficult it was for them. You know, they went from having both parents in their hospital to having one parent at a time because of the restrictions and stuff, and masks and just everything. It just
and I think that really touched us, and we didn't want to, and I think we really need to emphasize on this, that we're not doing this to get rich, because I don't think we're going to get rich off mugs, but it's more so branching out to new ventures and with a good cause behind it, because, you know, as we've said, like, if we can put our little grain of rice and salt and whatever for a bigger cause, and if we can do it with every single one of you and all of us together, I think we can all make a change. And just to know that this little child will be able to have a wish come true, and have joy and hope looking forward and counting down to the days that, even the kids are like, how many days till Christmas? So imagine them they're also on a timer for their life. Like, you don't know, they want today, they're here, tomorrow they're not. So to have a wish come true for them is a pretty big deal. So moving from that, every set of campaign that we're going to do, we'll be coming out with new designs. Again, things that we've decided to put on, quotes, empowering quotes, that in the morning you know you're going to have your tea and your coffee and you're going to think, yeah, I do got this, basically. And each campaign will be limited quantities of mugs, so once it's gone, it's gone. And then obviously we will be working with more charities and seeing where we can help. And even if it's not charities but another cause, then I think our hearts are set on that, to be able to help other parents and mothers. And yeah.
Thank you.
No, but yeah, so we thought we really wanted to look. Every time we were like, when are we launching, and then we just got closer to our anniversary. We thought, what better way than to launch it all today, like a big milestone.
We were actually going to launch it for Mother's Day,
Yeah,
but then we had the big project of the filming
video,
and stuff,
yeah.
so we thought, no, because that's going to take away from like the big, you know, this is
and
what we've
also
come out
having
from.
in mind that a lot of other people were also launching things for Mother's Day, and obviously it's like we wanted to make sure that we all had the spotlight for it, not like 100 people launching one thing on. So we saw that and we thought, okay, no, like, let's wait and hold back, and that way, you know, we're all shining and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can purchase them now. They're available. Just slide in our DMs. And guys, we will say this. We're just trying to work on it at the moment. But for every purchase, as we said, a percentage of the profit will go towards the foundation, and also you will have the option to donate an extra £1 that we'll add that to. Just working on that at the moment though, so bear with. But yeah, they're so lovely though, guys. Please share. You need one of these in your life.
You do. I know everyone has cups at home, but they're just like average cups. These are like, that you're gonna wake up and you're not even want to go to sleep, because you're just gonna be like this in the pillow, like.
Please tell them about the postman, the daddy takeover postman.
Oh, he wanted to become Postman Pat and have like the experience, and he wanted to hand deliver them
because we wanted to avoid postage and package.
Because it's all about the cost, like, and again, because we overthink everything, we started thinking, oh my god, but would you actually pay X price, and then add on top of that postage and package? And then I was like, oh my god, and I started having like a panic attack, and I was like, Jess, how are we going to do it? Because is someone actually going to purchase this cup for this amount of money?
Self-doubt.
And obviously I go to my dear husband, and he's like, oh well, you know, just add a more personal touch. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but we are not Postman Pat. We can just, I have enough on my plate. And he was like, oh, I'll do it. And I'm like, so you finish work at 6, right? And you're going to come home and you're just going to go and deliver. So your kids are just,
he was so ready to be Postman
yeah,
Pat.
he was so ready, so eager. And I love him for that, because he always gets so excited with everything we bring.
He's always been our employee of the month.
Yeah. But it's a no, Camilla, no.
Until he got himself on the daddy takeover.
Finally.
So, moving on, I've got a question for you. What has been the most cringe moment of your life that you look back and you're like, oh my god, why?
The most cringe moment of my life. Probably the other day when I went up to the cyclist and waved in his face and thought it was Camilo, but it really wasn't.
How long have you been with him, please?
10 years.
Imagine, and you're confusing him with some other guy just because he's on a bicycle.
Yeah.
No, but is that really your most cringe moment?
And probably like, because I wasn't on good terms with my mother-in-law when I gave birth.
Yeah,
and she held my leg up and probably saw inside my vagina. And we've just never spoken about it again. I think we need closure. What's been yours?
I like that. I know. I like that we're filming this, because I can actually show them what I was showing you. So once upon a time, I think I must have been 21. I got this brilliant idea, and I thought, you know what? I've just dropped out of uni. It's not for me. I don't really want to work. I want a fun, exciting job. I don't have kids. I just want to live my life and be free. I want to work in Disneyland. So I went and I looked for the application. I was like, okay, cool, there's auditions in Pineapple Shoes in Covent Garden. I go there, there's 200 people, guys, in this studio. Bear in mind, the people that have applied for this probably have, you know, drama and performing arts degree and whatnot. I'm shitting my pants because the thing with me, I always put myself in uncomfortable positions because I feel like if I don't put myself there, I won't do this, and then I won't go and be like, oh my god, that was amazing. Like, I like to push myself. I go there. I'm a very shy person as it is. And they say, right, guys, and this is the big studio, yeah? Everyone's got their number, like, you know, the marathon number stuck to you. I was like number 091 or something like that. All right, guys, so we're here today. Thank you for joining us. Out of today, we're only going to have 10 people that are going to be working for Disney this summer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Right, so the first activity is you have to act like a princess. You know, think of your favourite princess character and act like her. I was like, okay, Cinderella. I've always thought that I was Cinderella because my mum always used to tell me that I have to clean the floor. And I was like, okay, how would Cinderella act? And I was like walking with like my gown dress and my slippers and like my glass slippers. Cool. Got to the next free what do you call it? Free characters later. I was like in the last, I think was it 80 or 100 people. And then they go, you need to act like one of the what is it? The little people? The 7 dwarfs. You have to act like one of the 7 dwarfs, and we need to be able to tell who you are. So I was like, shit, think. So okay, I'm gonna be sleepy because what's the easiest, you know? And I'm like,
But wait, she was going, but looking at other people to see what they were doing.
Oh my god, because it's that thing, your creativeness in that moment just kind of goes out your head. So I'm like stretching and I'm like, oh, what's he doing? Okay, he's closing his eyes. What's this girl doing? Oh, okay, she's doing a bit of a back arch. So I'm there and I'm like, oh, and I'm trying not to let the judge know that I'm looking around so that they know that I'm like confident, you know, act confident, no one will question you. Got through to the last 50 guys. They tell me, well, they tell us, you're the villain. Oh no, you know what? At this point, I was like, the villain. Oh no, wait! Before we moved on to the villain, they told us to act like Grumpy, the little dwarf, and I was like stomping my feet, and I was like, it was just so fucking cringe, guys. And I was like, in that moment, I was like, oh my god, the room is getting like less and less packed. Like they're actually watching me now. Like I've just been lucky that they've not seen my acting. So we got to the villain, and I was looking around waiting for because like this, they were doing the first 5, 5, 5, and I was just watching. I was like, oh my god, what they're gonna ask me next? They're gonna, and then I was literally like, put my hands up like this, just above my shoulder. I was like, Rah! Guys, it was so embarrassing. Like now when I look back, I'm like, why? Like, why did I do that? And I was literally like, I've come to suck your blood. Oh my god. I can't. And I remember that the judges, they were walking around the room and they came to me, and I remember like, you know when you just don't want to embarrass the person, they kind of looked at me like, It was at that moment that I was like, yeah, I didn't make it through. I came out and they were like, broken. Yeah, they were like, okay, you can keep your number if you want as, you know, a memory. And I walked out and I was so upset. Like I was literally hurt, and like all my adrenaline kind of came, and I was like, and Jay was like, oh, how did it go? And I was like, yeah, I didn't make it through. I got to the last 80 though, 50. So I mean, I did a good job.
You did a very good job.
But now when I look back, I'm like, that was cringe, because I know I was looking around the room to try and copy everyone. Like I just didn't actually have it. So shout out to everyone that acts and stuff, because, and the thing is, do you know what the stupid thing is? All I wanted was to be dressed up as like Mickey Mouse and wave at the kids just in Disney. Like I didn't want to be acting out. But yeah, that was
eventful, right?
That was eventful. What about sex?
I don't think it's a cringe moment. It's just like once I was really tired, like, you know when you're just like, I don't want to do anything. And then I was like really on it, and I was like, oh. And I was like, okay, and I just went to my side and I was like, just don't move me along. And then he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, just like,
Just
don't
do
move
your
me.
thing.
He was like, well, that's not romantic at all. And I was like,
I thought you were going to say at the time you said you were a timid version.
oh. Yeah, as well.
Have you ever been caught having sex?
Caught?
Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah. Nearly by my suegra.
Really?
Yeah. And I had to run, and I had my jeans like like
on your ankles.
on my ankles, and I was running.
You know, once my mum went out and came back from Summer Sisters, and she was like, please don't lock the door because I'm coming, and she knew that I was gonna be there with Jay. She gets home, Jay rushed. I don't know why he rushed to the toilet when his clothes was in the room where we were. He ran to the toilet, butt naked, only wearing his socks, and she opened the door, and she, like, you know, the stairs where I used to, did you ever come to yeah, downstairs, and she was trying to get the key to, like, come off the, like, she had already opened the door, and she was trying to get the key out, and meanwhile, at the top, Jay was trying to rush himself in the toilet, and the door wouldn't, and and I was like, so she's seen your butt naked?
That is quite tense.
Obviously, this episode was special because it marks our 1 year and we've launched this. And ta-da! Melty!
I'm back!
How are you?
I'm good.
How you been? Lovely. Oh, do you know what? You were so lovely to bring us drinks today.
Yes, so it was really interesting because I knew the girls were recording and I wanted to do something nice for them, but I didn't know what. And I'm really bad with like doing sentimental things. I don't know why. So I thought, let me just order them cocktails. Erica never has ID, and
Who carries ID?
everyone
Me?
carries ID. And Jess, well, I didn't want to make it obvious. Anyways, I asked Jay, I asked Ollie, and then it turned out that
What did you ask them? Do they have ID on them?
yeah, do they have
That's
ID
so
and what time you
random.
guys are coming? So that's why I just ended up asking you guys. Anyways, I'm like a bill. I'm always around. You guys don't know, but I'm just there. So I'm here, and I thought I'd make you guys something, little cocktails.
Thanks.
So
They
it
were
was
delicious.
nice.
She gets to keep the tittle cups.
Obviously,
The
you
one
know.
with spelling mistake.
Congratulations, you are the winner. We did a poll.
Mhm.
Beg your pardon. We did a poll on when is it the perfect time or the correct time to to introduce your child to your new partner.
Damn.
And we got some different kind of responses.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the responses, kind of share what we think goes. But again, it's everyone's entitled to their own thing. You know, we all do.
The thing
what
is that
works
every
for us.
situation is different.
Yeah. Like, how long is too long? Because you also want to make sure, right? It's a big commitment once you introduce them to your children.
No, and it's
right?
like a lot of them were like, you know, until you know it's right. But how do you know it's right? So I asked, and one was, I think, always introduce them as friends first and see if the kid likes them. And you know, we've always said, you know, kids always kind of like sense
Pick
that,
the energy.
yeah, the energy. And if like your kid is not comfortable around them, and I think I touched on this subject because we had spoken previously to Vanessa in terms of like, you know, she lost her innocence and stuff, and you just don't know who your kids are around. Like, you know, you get scared with like people in your circle. Now having like this brand new person that you're getting to know come into your child's life. Like, you know, with Dan, if he goes to like clean La Nina, you always have to teach him how.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable letting another man that's now your partner clean La Nina?
And it's almost like, do you set boundaries?
Exactly.
Do you set boundaries to be like, okay, but what if, okay, let's say you introduce them as friends. What if your kid just doesn't like this person at all?
Exactly.
And you really like them?
But that
Is that
this person is going to be in your kid's life, in your life. So would you not choose their comfort over yours, or what would you do?
But some women won't, because it's difficult.
Because they say it's my kid, and my kid, you know, at 18 will leave. And,
exactly.
Yeah, it's true,
and as a
though.
woman, you have to kind of think, okay, am I just going to become celibate
Yeah.
until my child leaves? And you know, not all children leave at 18.
Yeah, I can't be celibate until he leaves.
what if you just have him as like a not bad,
Like a
like
side, yeah,
like
I always think
a
like
bit
I'll
of a
have like a
secret.
side man.
Well, what were we watching? What were we talking about? That I think we were watching something that the guy went to jail for like quite a big amount of time. And I remember you saying that, because I think my question was, imagine you find someone and you're waiting for your man to come back out, and then I think you said, you'll wait.
I'll wait.
Yeah, that you'll wait for them.
Yeah.
And then I said, yeah,
what if you
cool.
find someone outside?
Well, yeah, I'll have a side man.
Well, yeah,
Whilst waiting for your man.
Yeah,
to
Because
come
you'll probably
out.
get bummed in jail.
No, and who's gonna do maintenance? I'm sorry, but just because you're inside doesn't mean I'm not gonna be horny.
Okay, but what about the fact that when the person comes out, maybe their relationship won't be the same anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because this was like 20 years or something.
Yeah, I think.
I'm sorry, but
I don't know
if it
how.
listen, 5 years, I'll wait for you. I might even not have sex in those 5 years.
Might not.
But
even,
it's
Zero
you know.
maintenance, spider webs.
But imagine 5 years to compare to like 20. You
Yeah,
can't,
no, I
and
know.
as the man, you can't expect. I know they will, because they'll be like, "Oh my god, I thought you were my ride or die." If you've been in for 20 years, you can't expect to come out and think that I've been waiting for you. Not because I didn't want to wait for you, but because things happen. I've got lonely.
We all change as well.
I need support.
Do
You,
you know,
don't.
saying about change, I don't know how many years, all our cells.
Yeah, 7 years I think. It
Yeah,
is, yeah.
so we change anyways.
I'm a new person when you come out. Anyways.
Exactly.
I don't know.
think
Why.
mine is happening soon.
Um.
Call me Bob.
Okay. What else did they say?
So something I want to discuss with you, and someone very close to us and that we really like said, until you know for sure this is something to last, and once you have spoken to kids and obviously the dad.
Yeah.
So I wanted to touch on that one, right? Because one of our followers also said, sorry.
I appreciate the speaking to dad too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
respect
That's
as well.
exactly.
Yeah,
That is, I respect
definitely.
I think it's definitely needed, because if we twist it, a lot of mums will be like, well, no, if I'm single
Yeah.
and a guy comes and asks, oh, I'm going to introduce my kid
Yeah.
to,
Nah.
we'll have an issue, and
Yeah,
let's not kid
definitely.
ourselves.
Yeah.
If Ollie came to me and we broke up and he was like, I've got a new girlfriend, I'll be like, I think it's too soon.
Yeah.
We as women, we're really controlling, and we'll think we'll
We're
know when it
possessive.
is that they can introduce. And this is why I feel,
Yeah.
because obviously another reason was because of obviously the daddy
Daddy
takeover
takeover.
and them saying, you know, that dads are equal to women, to mum, sorry. So one of our followers said, I've met some of my mother's boyfriends growing up after my parents separated, and it honestly made me change the way I saw my mum and made me look down on her as a woman. And we don't often see it, but it shows a lot, because if my mum did that, I think as a child, you're trying to teach your child morals and self-love. So if you're seeing these men appear and disappear out of your life, you have no stability, and you know you've already lost that one man that's meant to be there for you.
You think
And-
it's normal?
Yeah, you think,
we
okay,
are our
well,
children's example. aren't we?
exactly.
So-
So you kind of think, and no, sometimes it will teach you, because I don't want to be and have so many guys come in and out of my life. And like she said, she was with her ex-boyfriend and it wasn't a nice relationship, but she felt like she had to hold on because of that. She didn't want to have so many people in her life.
yeah.
She didn't want to repeat the story. And I think that's very important, because look, she's now a grown up, but she's still kind of, she has that resentment.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, that's not nice.
It was a big enough impact for her to still like remember these things, and for her to
It's her trauma.
exactly or to know that if it was to ever happen to her, she probably would deal with it in a different way.
But you know, it's really difficult, and this is why I say it just depends on your situation, because I know you guys have seen relationships that have been together for like 10, 12 years, 15 years. They break up, they've not had kids, not had married. Within a year, they're engaged and they're having a baby, and they're actually thriving in life.
Yeah.
So it's like you never actually know how you're going to click with this person. I personally, I think I like the idea of introducing them as a friend, because again, you, like you were saying, you suss out your child's energy around them and how that person is with the kid as well, because not everyone is kid friendly, or some people are a bit like oh hey, and then just kind of move on.
Dismissive.
Yeah.
So you'll kind of see the toxicity that thing
Yeah.
come out, because there are men that are kind of possessive over you,
Yeah.
so they'll want to kind of push the child to one side.
Or just want the woman. Like,
Yeah.
and it sounds really bad, but people will refer to your children as baggage. So they
Yeah.
they just want
Exactly.
you as opposed to your kids as well. And it
And the
doesn't really
thing,
work
yeah,
like that.
exactly. It's like you want me, but I've got my kid too.
Yeah.
It's,
And like
you
I
come
get
as a
it,
package.
yeah, and I get it. It
Exactly.
does take time to bond with a child. And the thing is, as that, if you're the woman coming into a home that's already got a child, or the man coming in, you need to know that you can't create that bond instantly with the child, and also you're possibly stepping on eggshells in someone else's toes, because maybe or maybe not, you already know how present the other parent is. So I think as adults we need to have in mind that we need to respect ourselves and our relationships, and you can't come and say you can't have a relationship with your ex because
That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry, but we've got a child, we're going to be in each other's lives forever.
Forever.
Unless you're actually toxic and, you know, I'm detaching myself for you for our own good.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Because it does happen. I don't allow my child to see his daughter if he's with his girlfriend because I don't like her, you know. But once I get a boyfriend, my boyfriend comes to live with me and my child can live with us. Is that not selfish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult because you're the one that lives with the child, but like Mel said, if you've set these boundaries, it needs to be reciprocated. It needs to be vice versa.
Yeah.
Because already you saying, oh yeah, he's going to come live with me and you're with my child, so what, your partner, your ex doesn't have no say in it.
Exactly.
It's if your partner is there only weekend, because I know someone was like, oh, if you're there just the weekend, then you don't have the same rights. But if you're there only weekends, but if Monday to Friday you're as present as you are, then why would you not have the right?
Well, I actually had a discussion with Ollie because we obviously spoke to Tiana in terms of, you know, Ollie and Andor saying that men and women should be equal, you know? And I was having the discussion with him because I thought it was kind of like, I said to him and I was like, you can't say you are the same as me because I do so much more. And then he said, no, but we weren't talking in terms of that. We're talking in terms of the system. No, the system, you know. We as women say, oh, well, you know, you men get 2 weeks paternity leave and then you go off and do your life. And then he's like, Erica, it's not because we want to.
Yeah.
The system has made it out like that, you know. Every company, max, will give you two weeks. The system gives a woman a year. So, of course, they're naturally not going to have the same bond with the child. And by the time they come home, stressed from work as well, we're stressed at home. You know, we clash because we automatically think, well, fuck you, you're out doing your life. But we don't really see that it's not that they've moved on, they continue with their life as normal. It's just the way life works.
Yeah.
It literally is not, oh, well, you know, I spend more time with my child. No. The man has to. It's in our nature that the guy just has to continue working and providing. It's not that, oh yeah, I can be at home and do everything for you. There are men out there, and I think that's where they were saying, you know, if the system worked in their favor and companies, you know, it was like law, oh, men have to have minimum 4 months with the child, you create that bond, you know.
You can share, and I think that's actually
a
law now,
yeah,
isn't it? That you can, and actually some companies will also allow that, but again, it's all new and it's not as wide spoken. It's true, and actually what they said in the episode when they're talking about, you know, when the baby's born, it's baby
straight to
of
the mum,
the mother. And
not.
Okay, I get the point, it makes sense because it's come out of you, but as a dad, that must make you feel like, do I not have the same
right
Andor said, it's like our role is non-important. Like, what's the point of a dad?
Exactly. And I think that's what Camilo made me realize, you know, it's not that I'm equal to you in the sense of how much we do. Of course not. You guys do so much more. But it's not because I don't want to do that for you. It's because I, unfortunately, have been given a role within the society that I have to go out and continue life as normal. I can't, you know, and like you say it. And I did question, I was like, yeah, but now I'm working, you're working. And I still tend to take that time off. If my kids are sick, you know, the mom always tends to stay in and stuff. And he's like, because it's a choice you make. If I turned around and said, let me stay with him, I will be like, no, I have to stay with him.
So it's like, which one is it? Make up your mind.
It's like we try to be in control of everything, and it's like we've heard, you know, why don't we normalize our babies coming out from, we've carried our babies for 9 months, right? This is something I discussed with him too. And the main reason that they give us skin to skin first, and they put it's to, you know, because of the postnatal depression, and so we can have that bond with the baby. But most men don't get that. And just because they don't suffer from postnatal depression doesn't mean that they don't need that one-to-one time.
But they do.
Exactly.
They have those
But he's
But
saying automatically
yeah.
the baby comes out and it's shoved
just
to the
not-
mum. You know, the mum has to breastfeed, the mum has to do this. You know, breastfeeding is so like, you have to do it. And women in itself, we want to, and you know, some women have said, you know, I'm selfish and I do want to breastfeed, because it's that having your baby look at you in your eyes, it's the most special. What happens, and then we expect our men to have the same bond with our children.
Oh, when Jay sucks my tits and looks at me, it's so cute.
You know what? It's funny you say that though, because I remember after we had Maya and I went on antibiotics and I had to stop breastfeeding, and I remember saying to you guys how I felt really almost annoyed
Like
that
you failed.
Yeah, that I had
Like angry.
failed. Yeah, I felt angry that I couldn't breastfeed because I was taking medication. That my husband was now feeding my daughter, but I can see the happiness, and it was so, I felt really, really bad for feeling that way, but I felt like anger towards like, you're doing a job that is mine, but then also, well, really it's not mine, like I can share it, and it was only for a temporary thing. And to see his happiness, like the picture I have, the first picture when Daniel's feeding Maya, you can see how happy he is. And now obviously when you look back at these scenarios, you just think, was I being selfish? Is that the right mindset to have? And we're a couple that are still together and working. If you imagine people that aren't together,
But that's
must be
good, because
hard.
you're taking accountability of how you felt in that moment.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you know, it was weird because it was your first time, you were feeling all these things, and obviously
And it's normal to feel
yeah,
that.
exactly. So and again, because it's already pushed on us and we have this view of it. But now that you saying that, you know that you can carry that accountability in your parenting as it is now, and you think, actually, no, I need to lay it back because my partner, he's there for a reason. It's like, you know, when you leave your child with the dad and you're like, oh no, he's babysitting. No, he's not.
No. And this is the thing, I think as a generation now, we're breaking so many taboos and so many ways.
We're breaking those barriers.
Exactly. No, they're not babysitting, they're the dad. So they're looking after their child the same way I look after and we look after our kids. It's
But don't you also feel like, because this is something else, so I was like, you know, I always kind of, I wake up and I'm like, okay, we're going to have this for breakfast, and I already know, what we're going to have for lunch. A man naturally doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And when you leave your child with your partner, it's like, okay, do I eat el almuerzo? I've left this, there's snacks, and you're constantly on the phone. Is she okay? Yeah. Have you given them food? It's like you're constantly on top of it. But if you look at it, your husband won't let your child.
And it's just that pressure that you put on yourself.
Yeah.
Because, like, say for instance, our men, like, I know I can speak for our men that they're capable of doing this. Like, they know how to use Deliveroo. They all know how to cook. They all know how to. We're just the ones that want to be on top and like, oh my god, no, I need to, like.
Yeah.
When I leave, I'm like, oh my god, is there food for them? Like, why? Maybe because I like to take that role and want to make sure that they're okay. Because in theory, I can leave and I don't have to worry about them not being able to. But like you said, you know, we just always want to be on top of everything.
But one would question, okay, but then you're still doing 90% of the work and he's just babysitting. But in reality, no. You've put that on yourself that you want to leave like a meal. And no one's forced you to do it, because your husband knows, like, well, before you go, you have to leave us food. No one says that.
And if he is, he wouldn't be in my house.
Exactly.
Like, sorry.
Yeah. Someone said 9 to 12 months to introduce.
So, but would you introduce them as my partner? Because I feel like a year, I would introduce them as like
my
like
friend.
Or make them more present and more involved and stuff.
Because like someone said 6 to 8 months, and I find it bizarre that you'd even consider, you know, because at 6 months I wouldn't consider knowing a person. I've been with my husband for 10 years and I still sometimes like, oh, for fuck's sake, why do you
but
do
maybe
this?
maybe she meant as in like as a friend, like have them around.
we're in a position, because we haven't been in that situation,
Yeah.
we always think, oh, I think I will do this. The same way when you're
Yeah.
breastfeeding. I think after 6 months I'm going to stop breastfeeding.
It's
5.5
trial and
months
error as
come,
well.
you're like, oh shit,
I don't
am I
wanna stop.
ready? Am I not? Do I do it? You know, society says that, what, all this wildness. I think once you're in that position yourself, and like you said, you're seeing the signs. Is the person good with your child? Because that's definitely important.
Yeah.
If they're not, then that makes you rethink everything.
It is, because
It's
say
hard.
like you like, but my thing is, as a woman and someone that's been through, like, you know, the whole butterflies, and the honeymoon period is always the best.
It's the sweetest.
It's the sweetest. Like, you know, you barely have arguments. Like, it's just discussions. You don't really see the person's true colours. So I think if I'm in my bittersweet moment, like on cloud 9, why would I bring my child into the equation when I haven't seen how low we can go?
Yeah. How low can you go? How low can you go? How low can you go?
Yeah, so it's like you just think of it like that, and it's like,
It's
I
true.
think maybe
Yeah,
after a
that's a good
year
point.
with being with that person, I can kind of like suss you out and see what you're about. You know, I could like poke at you and have you fight me if it's needed, just to kind of, and once that year's passed and I kind of think, okay, I think I'm okay, because other people have argued, you know, but how would you know when, if that's the right person? And like our follower said, you know, she saw so many people come in and out of her life. That's also a possibility. But as a woman, you'd think, well, you know, we've already self-doubt ourselves as mothers. If we didn't try these things, we probably would be stuck in what we thought. You know, when Maya's dropped and you don't really know what to do, if you don't go with your gut instinct, then you'd be like in a mental hospital because you'd have already gone crazy.
Yeah.
So I think it's always following your gut feeling, and kind of like Melissa said, we've never been through it. Us three, we're in stable relationships. We can only imagine how it would be like. We could become toxic baby mothers. We don't know.
I know. I told you that.
Holding grudge,
I think it was when you were still living in Croydon, and we were like, yeah, we broke up. Listen, I'm coming in looking my 10 out of 10 into the barbecue, being like, hey guys, and then Jay's there with like his new.
No, because it all started like Jess was like, if me and Jay were to break up, would you guys still invite me? And I was like, you're my best friend. Like, why would I invite you? Obviously, Jay's Ollie's best friend. So she was like, I wouldn't wear a bra, and I would go like a see-through top and sit down, and I'll be like, hey guys, and I'd be like, hey.
I'll probably put my
No,
hand on his knee and be like, hey.
Hola,
proper
Jay.
make the effort to go down.
Hola,
Hi.
Papi.
Yeah.
No, but all right, let's take it back to the episode we have with Milena. When I said, if we were to break up and I want another baby, please come inseminate me so that I can have the same baby father. And I was like, because it's my comfort. And your argument was that, but why? Because you're fearing. And the thing is, like, we established that it's not wrong. It's just, personally, I can't see myself with 3-4 baby daddies because there's too many people that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
But again, it goes down to how your relationship ended with him. You can't expect. Let's put the scenario where you've broken up, he's now found a new partner, and you really want another baby
For
because,
real, yeah.
and then you say, "Oh, Jay, can you come and give me a baby?"
I'm
because
sorry, I've got my ways.
No, and even it doesn't have to be the way we know how to make babies. It can be artificially
yeah.
inseminated.
But it'll still be weird because he's got a new
I
partner,
know.
regardless of how much you're in his life. He won't be able to.
Imagine he's just been with her for 6 months.
It doesn't
but
matter.
how are you gonna turn around and
there's
say,
people. No,
No,
you
but
can't.
it's true. Imagine it was the other way around.
Yeah, and imagine like you got with someone and you were like
Yeah.
head over heels for him, and then his baby mom was like, "Oh yeah, I need another baby. Come."
Can I have your sperm, please? Basically.
How would you feel?
Can
Jay?
you just?
Come.
Oh dear.
So guys, at the moment we've got our technical
Our tech guy.
our tech guy. Come closer.
Come closer.
Reveal
If-
yourself.
If we were to break up, you've now come to the kid's birthday, like their kid's birthday. They've invited us because obviously we're all best friends, and I've come in, you're with your new girlfriend, and I'm like, hey Jay, and I'm like, how are you? And then I'm like, oh, let me have a word with you, I really want another baby, can you please inseminate me? Would you do it if you've been with your girlfriend for 1 year? Nah, you know what? He
Jay's
would,
trying to
because he'll be like,
establish
oh, I
everything.
can get into my baby mama again. I know he would. No, but think about it.
And you're really into this new girl.
It's a difficult one because I don't know.
I think you
Inseminate, you said.
Yes, you basically have to
Give
fuck
me another
her.
baby.
or just
Oh.
know artificially as well.
But
Give the
because
guy
she's
an
gonna
option.
have to pay for
What,
that.
in a syringe?
Yeah.
You think
Oh,
just-
I'm here thinking like you just like syringe it. No, but whatever I want to
the Calpol little things.
Yeah.
Oh, that is disgusting now.
I've got loads at home.
Is that what you planned it?
And you like mark them with
No,
sperm.
I got loads because when lockdown happened, I thought I needed like 100 cowboys, and Erica
No
was,
Nurofen, no Nurofen.
and Erica was like, I can't find any cowboy.
And
And me,
Jay, yeah.
I was like, we've got some, but we couldn't even come see each other.
So?
Would you give me another baby? However, even if it was you inseminating me or intercourse, like, would you
With a
give
she.
just a baby? Yeah, with a she in there.
I think probably insemination might be up for consideration, but
So you wouldn't even consider talking to your girlfriend?
oh no, of course.
She'll
Would
obviously say
you?
no.
What if she says yes?
No, but-
what if
but-
she's
She
like,
won't.
no?
Because if
it's-
Why not?
Insemination, then it doesn't actually require, obviously.
Yeah, because
sexual
I don't think it will change, because regardless if she's there or not, he's pretty much going to be in Leo's life and coming over to pick him up and stuff. So it's not
Yeah,
like
but
anything
it's starting
changes.
from scratch, Moo. Una cosa es tener Leo in a
Yeah.
certain age, and another thing is him having to, like, you have to think of it this way. He's now providing for another person. He's now living with another person, bringing bills for another person, yet having to maintain your son as well. And now you're going to bring another child, and she's going to go, yeah, of course.
Listen,
Let's give her more money. You really think a woman
Listen,
Well,
Jay,
nah.
I'm telling you right
You
here.
just can't have another girlfriend.
Nah, I'm
This
telling-
is for everyone. If you, I'm gonna post a picture of him. Cancel. You can never, because she is gonna be toxic.
She's gonna be wild. Yes, she is.
I
And
know.
we can't protect
We
you.
are
I'm
gonna be
the-
toxic too.
I am the sweetest person, guys. Come on.
She's
I
lying.
almost got a job in Disneyland.
Right, I think I'm done.
But yeah, no, I'm just saying, if you're that girl out there and the situation does ever come up, he will give it to me.
Just know you're gonna die. 3 or 4 years.
Oof, but that's a long time as well.
But it might be nice, like a little bit of a secret, right?
See, this is my view on it though. I don't want to
Because-
be bringing you around because like.
Also, let's
give
be
me on
real.
the
It's not
side.
just the man or the other person. It's the family as well. You know,
And
you're
the friends.
And you have like,
And
like
the
the bitchy
friends,
tías
yeah.
like, ay, pero con ella está la espasada.
yeah, or the person who will turn around maybe on the other person's side, the person you're dating, to be like, oh, but you know,
She's got kids.
She's got kids, or
Yeah, that's true.
you know, some families are very lovely and
Yeah.
they, you know, and I know people who have extended families and, you know, mixed families, and it works. But what if it doesn't? There's just so much to consider, right?
Yeah, it's like a roulette. You don't really know who you're
It really
get.
is like a lottery, right?
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, I do feel like 6 to 8 months is soon. I do think that it depends on your situation in that moment, your gut feeling, because it says a lot, your kid's reaction, and as
So
well.
do you think if you have like a baby that doesn't talk, so say like
No.
max 1, you should reintroduce another human? Don't you think that's going to be confusing?
Yeah,
Because
no.
that child is still trying to figure out who everyone is.
Also, what if the child calls the new person dad and then...
No. I'm stopping it there.
What
You're not
happens then?
calling someone dad.
No, I know, but let me say, like, let's say for example that child starts
Yeah.
building a
You-
relationship
you-
with this
Yeah,
man,
but you
or...
can in a PG way, in a U way, you can tell your child, oh.
But there will
then
be
like-
that
let's say
woman
a
that
baby.
won't. They'll find it cute and be like, "Oh, see a
Oh,
daddy."
yeah, I don't know. There's too much.
Oh,
to
as a baby
consider.
mama.
Yeah.
But then that's on you. If you feel like that's good for you, then
Mm.
good. But as a personal thing, I don't. And I
Yeah.
think Andor states it very well in the episode. Unless I'm no longer around and I do not.
Like
Just-
he's not present.
Yeah, then absolutely, because it. You know what? It's true. Like a lot of these people do earn their stepdad and stepmom, and And I think one of our followers as well said, like, until your child can talk. And I
Yeah.
think that is so important, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the shop when my child can't even speak, and someone around was in that situation, you know. Now her child is very much a bit more independent and more vocal, so she feels a bit more comfortable with letting that child go, because she's like, okay, I know that she can communicate back to me. And it's true, because you just never know.
Yeah.
Well, it's always that thing where, can you trust that other person? Like, you know, we're very in control of our own partners, and we know this person came out of them. Now to let a complete stranger, I wouldn't be able to leave my child with them. Like, say if they didn't talk, because they wouldn't be able to tell me if they did something, you know.
I think this leads us nice into the whole friends relationship, because again, we said that children and energy, and I think we wanted to talk about this for a while, about how much your friends can support you in ugly times. And because we've all had a friend that are like, oh yeah, you know, good friends, and then tomorrow, like, they literally with another circle of friends, and you just don't even know of them. And if you see them around, you don't even say hello.
And I think it's always like, especially like pre-kids, you always have like them friends that, you know, I'll be here regardless of the situation. And then once you become a mum and you are now excluded from that group, you automatically lose those friends, like that friendship that you had. Like, it's not the same, because you have nothing in common anymore. And as much as you want to carry on drinking, and, you know, like us, we love to party, you know, we love a good party here and there, but it's not in us to like, oh yeah, we're dying for it. Like, we would kill for a movie
Just
night,
having, like dinner, snacks,
something kid related. Whereas all your friends, although they will tend to be like, oh yeah, you know, bring your kid, they're not always going to want your kid around. Like, your kid's not always going to be that cute baby that's just going to not do anything. Your kid's going to require much more, and you're not going to be able to sit down all the time. You're going to have to like run around after
have
them.
a natural conversation.
Exactly. Like, we've tried sometimes when we're with all our kids, sometimes we're like, yeah, and then one of us goes and we come back and someone's already touched another situation, and we're like, what? When we left, we were talking about puberty, and now we're like on something else.
Do you know, it's funny you said that. The other day, we decided to go to a park, and we just went, bought donuts and a drink, and we couldn't speak with Jess. Like, we genuinely couldn't speak, and I was like,
my kid was racing.
Leo was off one, and I'm like, Maya, ya coge Leo, and I was like, Leo no escucha, and I'm like, pero cójalo. Anyways, it didn't work, and I just thought, you know what, like, let me just quickly turn the phone on YouTube. Would you guys like to watch Moana, whatever? Stick it on. We were in a park with our children, letting them watch YouTube just so we can have.
We were there for like
half an hour
minutes
to just talk, and it was so nice.
We was talking so fast.
We were like, next, okay, should we go now?
Like, you come out with a list of things to talk about.
Yes.
And the
But
thing
it was
is,
the only way.
and it was one of them things that just happened, and we were like, oh my god, like, we've not seen each other for how long? Let's just, literally, it was like we had verbal diarrhea trying to get it all out in that time.
Yeah.
But do you know what? You say that with the friends thing. So I've got a friend that I met her at work. She's super lovely. You know, we've clicked really well. One of her friends had a baby, and she's very much not being on her phone all the time. She's not really a phone kind of person. But if I've messaged you and you've left me on red and it's 4 days later and now you're replying me, I'm sorry, but time has passed already. What I wanted to say to you in that moment has now passed. And she told me, and I was like, yeah, it's weird because as a mom, it does get busy, but you do get a time when you look at your phone.
When you're breastfeeding, when the baby's down
or
for a
you
nap.
go to bed, or you
toilet.
And she was a bit annoyed, and I was like, it's not normal, so just if you really do appreciate her as a friend, just give her some time and space. Let her know that you're still around and you're still thinking of it. Of course, if it comes to you naturally, like if you actually do appreciate her. And then she was like, oh, Jess, you know, thank you so much. Like, I never thought of it. And because I was like, that's not normal. Maybe she's depressed and anxious with the whole situation because she had her baby like just before lockdown. So I was like, it's a big thing. And the way her personality is, the friend, she was kind of having it a bit tough, so I was like, look, just bear with her. And because it's not nice to know that one minute you've got your friends and the next no one's there. And the thing is, at the beginning, it gets really lonely, and it's like everyone is busy doing their life and you're just there like
But you know, you're saying that, but that was me. I was that friend.
Yeah.
I was that friend that you guys will message, and I'll just be like, and it sounds really bad, but I would almost get anxiety to like even start a conversation, because I was just like, if I'm not tired, I'm just like, I can't. Like, I feel so overwhelmed with just everything. And I remember so clearly one of like my oldest friends. She doesn't have a child, but she would message me just to be like, I love you. I hope you have a good day. And those little things. It goes a very long way, because once you come out of this new learning of motherhood and your baby, and sometimes it can take weeks, sometimes it can take months, sometimes it can take longer than that. There isn't a defined period, but once you know that you have those right people there, it just makes it so easy. So when I did feel like myself again, and I turned around to you guys, and I turned around to my oldest friend, it was as if nothing ever changed, and it was the best thing ever, because it was amazing.
I remember you and Erica crying in the cubicle toilet at her wedding, because literally like we completely just lost touch with you. And it was like, and I remember we would like, me and Erica would express to ourselves like we're here, like we're you're supposed to tell us like if you're okay, how can we help, like we can't help you if you're not telling us. But because we were just so fast to like think about these things, like, because again, when you're not in that situation, you don't have that mind space. And then I remember going into the toilet and these lot were crying in the cubicle,
and I was like, just que we love Melissa.
and it's that thing, because again, as we mentioned, we had that distant week.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, where you know each other, you know, like, yeah, it's annoying sometimes, because sometimes it's like, just tell me, or like, just, how am I supposed to know that you're mad at me if, or how am I supposed to know if I've done something that you didn't like and we've not communicated? The same with any single relationship that you ever have, you know, work colleagues, partner, friends, family. So it's always knowing that the person is there on standby. And I think that does a lot in your life, and then I think mostly as parents as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you value those types of friendships even more, and you then realize why the older you get, the less of, well, not the less, but your circle becomes smaller, like your family, and smaller, because these are these people that have been with you through so many difficult, you know, happy stages, sad stages, and they are there to support you, even if it's to listen without judgment. And I think that is so important. And so, you know, having these people, when you have a child, you go through some wild emotions and hormones and everything, and it's a crazy experience. So to have the people there to not judge you when you come out and say, oh guys, I feel a bit more normal now.
I also think it's a two-way thing though. One person can't be doing the effort all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%. But also, I think as a person, when you're in that position as well, you don't even recognize yourself, if that makes sense.
I think it's important, because I can state it from like going through it with both of you. I think we just, once we become a parent, we kind of, our personalities change. Like for me, I think because I was a mum first, and I was always so open with you guys, and you guys were always there, and I just felt like I was never alone, and I felt like I kind of clinged on to you guys, and you know, you guys kept me going, and I felt like when it was you guys' turn, I was so excited, because you know, and I've always stated it, like I've always wanted to be pregnant at the same time as them. So when we, like, it was like back to back, so I had Caden, 2 months later Melissa had Maya, and then Jess was already pregnant. I thought, oh my god, dream come true. And then seeing us distance, but it wasn't because we were falling out, it was just we were learning to become new people and sticking by each other, you know, like you've said, through thick and thin, and learning these new curves that we have to go through in order to make us stronger in the friendship we have. Because now I know, you know, just because I was a certain way doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be that way, you know. Jess is going to be that way. We're all completely different, and we all deal with things differently. And I think Jess, from the last time that we kind of like were distancing, we came to the agreement, you know, anything that pops up to our mind that we might feel like, oh, is this inconvenient for you? We're always very vocal about it. And I think I spoke to Melly as well, because I was concerned, because like Jess was very quiet, and I was like to Melly, I was like, I don't know what to do. I feel like she's pushing me away, like, and Melly was the one that was just like, just speak to her, like, unless you don't speak, you're not going to get anywhere, you know, and we're friends at the end of the day, and that's just the only way we're going to really know what's happening.
And the thing is, if you know you've not done anything wrong, what's stopping you, like, as a person?
But I think sometimes you don't want to bother the person, because you might just think, oh,
well, I remember saying that to you at the beginning with Lil, and I was like, I don't really want to bombard you with pictures of him, and you were like, but why? Like, we've been waiting for him all this time, like, send us. And I was just like, it's embarrassing, like, why am I sending so many pictures? But like I said, I see it.
But then you look back at me, and whenever you guys would say that, and same with Fish, obviously when she had Maya, I'd be like, but she doesn't send anything, she doesn't message us, and I felt kind of like stuck, like I wanted to scream, like I was completely different with you guys, you know. If my nipple was leaking, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you guys. Melissa milked me once.
Really random. We'll be like, wake up to like a big
and I
pitch.
would literally send you pictures of Joel. Or he'll wake up, he'll go to sleep, you know, poo pictures, everything. Like, I wanted you guys to be so present in my son's upbringing. And then when obviously Lel came, and she wouldn't send, and the excuse was, oh, I don't want to bombard you. And then it just brought me back to
but
Joel.
It's just like uncomfortable.
But then it made me think, oh, so did I make you guys feel uncomfortable, because I was literally sending everything.
Had an old album saying Jojo.
Jojo.
Now it's like Jojo K, Maya, Lil.
Literally, so it's now like you always kind of reflect back and you think, oh shit, did I do it wrong then, because I was sharing everything? Did I overexpose everything?
Like now me hearing you say that kind of makes me think like, oh, maybe when I said that you might have thought, well, what you
I did. I was like, oh,
and now
I
it's
did
like,
it wrong.
Yeah, and like now I'm thinking like, well, that wasn't the intention. It's just because I felt awkward. Like, is this what I do? And even my mom was like, man, they made photos, and I was like, oh, but I don't know, it was just weird.
But it's
just
just that, like, we're all different. We will all express things different. Like, I go days without speaking to Mel, and then she'll send me a picture of Maya, and then our conversation will pop up. But it doesn't mean she doesn't know that I love her and I will always love her. Same with you, Moo. Like, sometimes we don't even say good morning to each other, so, you know, because we're like, oh, you know, if your mama's cold and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it seems like we're just on business, and like the friendships kind of like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, hi, by the way, like, see you later.
How are you? Are you
know,
good?
the other day, it was like 7:30, and she was messaging me, and I wake up at like 9:30 or something, and I'm looking at it, and literally an hour later, oh, hey, good morning. I'm like, oh. and I think it was today as well, or was it yesterday, you said something, and my first, when you were telling me about this thing that was going on, and my voice was all croaking, I was, so I think this is what we should be doing.
And this morning she messaged me something that she had already messaged me. It was like, she thought Casa de Papel was coming out, and like a month before she had messaged me the exact same thing. God, and when I opened the message, I was like, Moo, this is the same thing. And then she was like, sorry, I was half asleep. And I was like, oh, send me shit, I'm gonna be excited.
Also, sometimes the simple message is like, I hope you guys have a nice week, or I hope you guys have a good day. Like, even just that, because I know we all live our own lives and things get hectic, and actually it's so easy to just sometimes realize that you haven't spoken to a person in ages
because time goes so
and then all of a sudden, but it's feeling comfortable with the people that you have close by and having those relationships. And if you have a good relationship, it will be a good relationship, if that makes sense. Or you have to both give it time, you have to both invest in it.
It can't be one-sided.
Yeah, it can't be one-sided, but your true ones will always stick by you, and I think that's just how it is.
Which is why you're
Melissa.
But you know what? I do have to say this. A lot of people were asking us that, oh my god, what happened? Did you guys have an argument? Did you fall out? And it's quite nice that we did this episode, because
please, I'm probably the most friendliest out of the three of us.
But yeah, I think we did address it in one of the episodes. That it wasn't nothing.
No.
nothing
And we just all go
extreme.
through different things, and you know, our lives take turns that we're just too consumed in doing our own things, and sometimes things just work out for the better.
Yeah.
And she's still pretty much really involved, you know. She's like cheering us on all the way.
From the sideline. And as a joke, and we've said it before, I was meant to be the silent M from the very beginning.
Literally.
Just putting it out
We
there. I
just
was meant to
forced
be.
you into this.
I was meant to be the silent M, but I'm always there. And I think, yeah, we sometimes what I've learned from my experience as becoming a mum is that you can't do everything, and sometimes you know when it's too much, and when you know it's too much is when you need to be like, I need to take a step back. And that was basically it with us, because you need to give it your all, and if you can't
give it half.
you can't give it half and bring the rest down. So
True.
I'm still here.
Definitely.
And I think also something we need to touch is that we should be, like Melissa said, like a message. We never know when's our last day, and like having everyone present and kind of like,
Why are you laughing?
don't
I'm
laugh.
laughing because you say one message and I'm always bombarding you with so many messages.
No, but I mean in terms of like Mel says that sometimes we're
Hope you
so
have a good
busy. Like,
week.
hope you have a good week, because like take Sarah Everard.
Yeah.
She didn't know. You know, she left her friend's house, happy as can be, walking home, and then that happens, and that literally any of us could have been her. So it just goes a long way. Like, and every day waking up to horrible news, we were talking about it. It's like the world is just getting worse and worse, and it's like we don't know like what's gonna happen. So being appreciative of everyone that's in our lives and showing them we care, because one day that's all we're gonna have, the memories. One day I'm gonna be able to go on my chat and like listen to a voice note and just crack up. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I go to our
delete
videos.
our chats. You are very bad. A chat comes in and you're like, delete. I'm like,
Okay,
for God's sake, why would you do
I will
that?
set the record straight. I've got our group chat that I have not deleted. I've got Erica's chat from when I told you I was pregnant, and I've got your chat, I think, from like last week. I'm joking. Since you left Mama's Go.
I can honestly, well, I don't want to show because our conversations are just not normal, but our chats, even our personal chats, go
No, that's
years.
what I'm saying. The personal
Yeah,
chat.
no, they go years.
Do you know what's so
years
awkward?
and years.
When it came to taking you out of the podcast group,
Do you know-
I left first, and I left Erica and Ollie in there.
do you know what the worst thing is? I think I realised, like,
You didn't even realise.
I didn't realise, but this is the
Good.
thing, like, as a
Surprise!
person, I'm very, like, I'm a nana when it comes to, like, social media and things like that. Like, genuinely, I remember when we first started, like, Mama's Code, I was like, Jess, I'm gonna delete Instagram. She was like, no, you can't delete Instagram. I'm like, oh, okay.
And then you started getting our followers following you.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, like, what do I do? So, like, I'm just the type of person, okay, my phone's there to, like, communicate, but also I just don't notice some of these things. So when I realised, it was like a couple of days after, and I was like, oh, I just deleted it.
Sad, right?
Yeah, but then we have the chat,
Yeah.
so what difference does it make?
A shout out to KK Creations. Erica was lovely to get us cakes in tubs. Guys, they're so cool. You need to try them if you haven't. They are delicious. We got strawberries and cream.
And cookies and cream.
Delicious, so check them out. And guys, shout out to one of our friends, Lena Echeverry. We'll tag KK Creations and Lena. Another upcoming business with her nails, so check them out.
Now I'd just like to take a moment to thank Erica, Diana's, and Mums the Word UK for sharing their birthing story with us today. We cannot wait to launch them because they were amazing. Just cried.
As we do in all the things
Yeah.
though. And again, guys, thank you so much for everyone that is still listening to us a year on. Thank you so much for the support. We hope to keep putting out more. Guys, no, let me just say, we have a lot of episodes coming that I like. And
It's true.
you know this hashtag not all men? Listen, we've got an episode coming out, and I'm not saying boo to the hashtag or not boo. I'm just saying we need to have this conversation again
Yeah.
about raising genders.
Okay, now to wrap the episode up, we're gonna give a golden tip, and because I'm the guest, which is so strange to say, I'm gonna tear up. I'm very emotional. If you guys don't know, I get very emotional very easily. definitely communicate, whether it's friendship, partners, and we've said I'm talking like I'm still part of the Mama's Code. We've said in previous episodes, communication is key, and like I said, friends, partners, just always speak to your people. Make sure you're checking up on them. Make sure you're just saying, hey, I hope you have a good day, you know, I love you. That's it. It takes a second, but it can mean a lot, and it just makes the person know that they're not alone and you're thinking about them.
And go with your gut at all times.
Yes. Mama's Code out.
Oh, I love that.
Mama's Code.